Hey everyone, welcome back. So, if you're looking to optimize your days for better balance, maybe a deeper connection, and just an all around healthier mindset, well, you're absolutely in the right place. Today's explainer is going to take a slightly different, maybe even a fun approach. We're looking at some source material that might seem incredibly simple on the surface. I mean, it's literally a daily routine followed by a panda, a bunny, a monkey, and a duck. But here's the thing when we actually deconstruct it, it serves as a surprisingly profound masterclass in optimizing a balanced, wholesome lifestyle. We're going to break down the A2 Panda Sunday routine, really examining the specific protocols this little group uses to manage their energy, support each other, and stay totally grounded in the present moment. So, let's map out the journey of this highly optimized day, shall we? We'll be hitting four main phases. First up, the morning routine structure. Then, we'll look at their park play and matinee. Third, the jungle fishing trip. And finally, we'll wrap up with their wind down and teamwork. All right, kicking things off with part one, the morning routine structure, or how they go about building a solid foundation for the day. You know, the way we wake up kind of dictates the tone for our entire day, right? And honestly, this group handles it perfectly. Instead of those jarring, loud alarms we're all used to, panda, bunny, monkey, and little duck wake up to gentle, natural sensory cues. Think the sun shining and birds singing. It's just an incredibly mindful, low-stress transition from sleep to wakefulness. And their morning hygiene? It's not just a mad rush out the door. Step one is a physical stretch to wake up the body. For step two, they brush their teeth, but pay attention to the mindset here. They actually find the bubbles funny. It's injecting a moment of pure lightheartedness into a standard, boring chore. Step three is the invigoration of splashing nice cold water on their faces. But step four? That's where the magic really happens. When putting on their jackets, one of them has a jacket that's a bit small, and the laces are tricky. Almost immediately, a friend steps in and says, "Hey, I can help you." I mean, before they've even eaten breakfast, they're already establishing this awesome collaborative framework for the day. Now, notice the cool contrast in their breakfast choices. Panda chooses bamboo bread, earthy and satisfying. Meanwhile, monkey and bunny opt for crunchy bananas, fresh, sweet, and textural. They aren't forcing everyone to eat the same thing. They actually embrace individual preferences. But, and this is key, despite eating entirely different things, they share this mutual, explicitly stated focus on mindful habits. The source specifically notes that they remind each other to drink slowly, eat slowly, and simply enjoy the food, even taking a moment to notice how fresh the water is. It is a literal masterclass in mindful consumption. Okay, moving right along to part two, park play and matinee. This is all about movement, nature, and entertainment. Bridging the gap between their structured morning and the total freedom of the outdoors, our group transitions into their midday activities. And when they get to the park, they don't just aimlessly run around like you might expect. They actually engage in active observation. They intentionally notice the yellow and red flowers. They watch the birds eating seeds. They're observing the small, fast-swimming fish in the water and checking out all the colorful butterflies. By actively calling out these vibrant sensory inputs, they are totally grounding themselves in their environment. And the result of all this? Well, one of the characters explicitly states, this is peaceful. This deep, intentional connection with nature brings them a profound feeling of calm right before they enjoy a fresh, crunchy carrot snack. But of course, park play isn't just about observation, it's about physical exertion too. They hit the swings, pushing each other higher, and they go climbing. And the phrase, "careful, don't fall," highlights this really beautiful micro-narrative of safe play. As they push their physical boundaries, the more capable members of the group are constantly looking out for the others, saying things like, "just be careful up there, little one." It's this wonderful protective dynamic that ensures everybody feels secure while they're out there taking risks. So after the park visit and a lunch of sweet bananas and rice, which again they make sure to eat slowly, they transition indoors for a matinee movie. And here they shift their sensory focus. They marvel at the popcorn, literally calling it crunchy and warm. They appreciate the visual stimulation of the screen, noting the colors are so bright and fun. But most importantly, they share laughter. They make a point to say that the movie is very funny. It's just a brilliant way of balancing physical outdoor exertion with relaxing shared indoor entertainment. Next up, part three, the jungle fishing trip. This section is all about patience and teamwork in nature. This brings us to the afternoon's main event, which is really framed as a true adventure, requiring preparation, travel, and most importantly, collaboration. If we track their chronological journey here, at 3 p.m., they experience the thrill of riding the fast, big royal horse cart, and they make sure to hold on tight and look at the colorful birds along the way. By 3:30 p.m., they arrive at the beautiful, peaceful jungle canal. Then, at 3:45 p.m., the real work begins. They have to carefully tie the fishing hooks, making sure to warn each other to be careful with it. And by 4 p.m., they transition into a state of deep focus, practicing patience as they wait for a catch. The escalation from that high-energy cart ride to the quiet discipline required at the canal is just perfectly paced. And guys, listen to this highly supportive dialogue. "Well done, monkey. Let me help you, bunny." This kind of talk underpins their entire fishing mission. When someone struggles with a line, another is right there to gently assist them. It proves that the real goal of this excursion isn't just about, extracting fish from the canal. The true objective is cooperation. They're out there actively building trust and reinforcing their social bonds. During this whole process, they rely heavily on one core virtue: patience. They explicitly remind each other that patience is important. They throw the line gently into the water and just wait calmly. They connect deeply with the peacefulness of the jungle environment, making absolutely sure to appreciate the beauty around them while they wait. And they eventually take a break to enjoy a quick, crisp apple snack. It's an active, mindful waiting, right? Not a restless, agitated one. Which brings us to our final section, Part 4, Wind Down and Teamwork. This is all about shared responsibilities and rest. After thanking the horse for the ride home, they return to their beloved treehouse, gracefully shifting from outdoor adventure back to domestic cooperation as the evening sets in. And notice how they divide and conquer the evening tasks. First, there's a quick hygiene reset, washing hands with cold, splashing water. Then, they immediately delegate the dinner prep. Someone volunteers to cook the bamboo rice. Someone else says, "Hey, I can peel the carrots." After they eat slowly and enjoy their yummy food, they clean up the kitchen together, literally stating out loud that cleaning is fun with friends. They manage to turn necessary, sometimes tedious chores into this seamless, collaborative group effort. And then, they reward all that hard work by playing a fun evening game together before bed. And this whole day just brilliantly illustrates the macro structure of their routine. If we trace their journey, we see that in the morning, the core activity is park exploration, fueled by crunchy carrots, which results in a peaceful and joyful emotional state. In the afternoon, they shift to a matinee movie, eating warm popcorn, leaving them feeling amused and bright. Late day brings the jungle fishing trip, sustained by sweet apples, requiring a very patient and supportive state of mind. And finally, the evening centers around the treehouse dinner and bamboo rice, leading them into a comfortable, sleepy state. I mean, it is a perfectly balanced rhythm of active engagement, proper nourishment, and distinct, appropriate emotional states. So, to close out the day, they perform their final hygiene loop. They brush gently, noting the minty freshness of the toothpaste. This perfectly mirrors their morning bubble brushing, basically bringing the entire day full circle. Little Duck quacks and admits, "I feel sleepy now." And of course they do. They've properly exhausted their energy through play, focus, and teamwork, and now they're perfectly primed to get comfortable for bed and wish each other a good night. Which leaves us with a really fascinating final question. Does your daily routine balance shared responsibilities, sensory awareness, and mindful rest as effectively as Panda's Sunday? I know it sounds like a simple children's story at first glance, but the foundational principles here, helping others with tricky tasks, mindful eating, grounding yourself in nature, and turning chores into shared fun, they're incredibly powerful. So take a look at your own complex life this week. Ask yourself if you might just benefit from adopting a little bit of the Panda protocol. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.